So this site is called Biblionasium, and it's a site that you can add your students to, and they are able to upload books to their shelves, share books to their friends, write notes about if they think they would like it. So they're basically sending recommendations, as well as you can create different challenges for them to do. So this is the student or the teacher page that I'm going to show you first, and then the next video I'll show you what the student looks like. And it's very similar. So there is things on the top as well as on the sidebar that you can go to. So if you go to home, which is the screen it's going to come up with automatically, then it's going to have just some messages from Coach Chip Manzi, which is the monkey who gives you and students things. You can save different things on here, like different sayings, different books, ideas to read. If you go into groups, this is where you would add your class and your students. I believe you can have as many groups as you want in there. So when you add your group, you'll give it a name, and then you can go to students. So you can see that I have one student right now, and then I can also add in more students. When you create your students, I would have your regular login and password like they normally do, so they don't have to remember anything different. I'll go into the student example. So you can assign them their reading level, so I just put their Lexile and then their usernames and passwords. And you can look at all the things they've been doing. If we go back into home, and you can go to books. So if you wanted to, you could create your whole class library so the students know what books are in your class library, or you can just add books that you would recommend them or require them to read on here too. So if we search for a book, for example, Land of Stories, you can also search them by Lexile range as well. So then you would choose which one you want. So we want the original one, so I'd click on the little plus sign. And it's going to open up to a page that's going to give us some more information about this book. So summary, we can review it, we can recommend it. This is how you would share it with like the class or other students. And you can see the reading level as well. So if I click add to shelf, and I want to add it to my group and select it, this will now be part of our class bookshelf. And then I can put it's one of my favorites, I can recommend it, I can require it, or I can just put it in the class library. So if I put it in class library and in recommended, it'll show up in those two parts of the bookshelf. So if we go back into books, so now it's in our class library, as well as if I go to recommended, it's there too. The next thing you can do is go into challenges. This is how you can create reading challenges for your students. And you would go to start a new challenge. So you'd select your group, all students or just some of the students if you want them working on different things. You would name your challenge, and then you would select your category. And so they have a ton of different challenges on here, which is great, by category or genre. Challenge based on choice of books, based on number of minutes, based on pages, or challenge based on reading a specific number of books from a larger list. So I'm just going to do, let's do minutes, and we'll do 10. Then select a deadline, so you would choose a date and save it. Delete minutes. And then this challenge will appear to the students so they know what they are supposed to be working on. You can also run reports, so those would go through challenges or what students have been doing. You can do suggested reading resources as just a different list of things that they can go to. You can also connect to parents on here. If we go back up to the top, you can set goals. Run reports is the same thing down below. You can also send messages to your students individually or to the whole class. And you can see goals, it goes back to challenges. So that is the student page of Biblionasium. So you can add books to your library, you can send books, you can add recommendations, and the one I think is the coolest part of this is the challenge piece, that you can add challenges to students. You can also buy books. I've never done this, but it just goes straight into your Amazon account if you want to purchase books. So then you'd have them in your library later. Let me know if you have questions of the student page of Biblionasium.